Hi guys, welcome to my preliminary winter outlook for the next winter, the upcoming winter 2016-2017. This is released on actually the 29th, but I thought it was going to be done by tomorrow, but I wasn't. So this is going to be my preliminary winter outlook. For once, I'm not the first to do this, so I've gained some insight for what other forecasters and YouTubers think about this upcoming winter. I'm going to give you my 2 cents. Do not take this. Don't take this to the bank, so to speak. This is not final, set in stone, because there are a lot of moving parts and a lot of uncertainty. So I would like to get started with my forecast. Just remember, this can change. I will update probably in early September or so. My factors into the winter discussion. Weak La Nina or ENSO neutral phases are both possible, actually. It's not just the La Nina that everybody was hyping up this year. We could definitely see a cold ENSO neutral this year, which would completely flip, would be complete different from a moderate La Nina. And I really doubt that we'll get a moderate to strong La Nina, but you never know, because it could strengthen quicker than currently forecasted, just like they forecasted it last month, which is completely different than this forecast. So that just proves that there's a whole lot of moving parts and a lot of uncertainty regarding this forecast. However, not as much as last year. So, PDO, or the blob, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard about, which is the warm waters in the Gulf of Alaska, are likely still warm or positive. Cool waters northwest of Hawaii, which I watched a YouTube video, and the forecaster said that since once there was cold water northwest of Hawaii during the winter, it set up a trough in the Pacific, which forced a ridge over the Pacific coast, and then it forced a trough into the eastern United States. He had suggested it would be warm this year, but actually looking at the latest waters, it's been cold northwest of Hawaii, assuming that stays. That's what I'm looking at right now. And I was just talking about seeing the water temperatures. As you can see, northwest of Hawaii, there is cool water and warm waters in the Gulf of Alaska. Not as warm as the past couple winters, but still pretty far above average. You can see some shadings into the 2-3 degrees above average, which is pretty good. But here's the cooling ENSO, which was the very strong El Nino last year, which made my forecast a bit off, especially for the snowfall. But I didn't expect it to be that strong. However, it is dead now. El Nino is not going to be a factor this winter. So we're all focusing on the cold side, which could be ENSO neutral, but you never know. And here I have Atlantic anomalies, which are important but can only really be forecasted a couple weeks in advance. So on my final winter forecast, I will do that. Here are the mid-July 2016 Plume model ENSO predictions. It's completely different in mid-June. A lot of the models have been saying around the 1 to 1.5 Nino SST anomaly, departure from normal. So it's different now. As you can see, possibly more models are saying that we could have an ENSO neutral, which is 0.5 to 0.5 in both sides. But some models still saying weak La Nina, and a couple of outliers are saying moderate La Nina, but I doubt that's going to happen, especially now. But you never know, it could happen. This is the typical La Nina pattern. As you can see, it says cold air in the Gulf of Alaska. It would be different than that for us because we have the warm water, which forces a ridge. This would make a ridge here, and then there'd be a dip in the jet stream there, as we've had in the past couple winters, not including our last winter. And that's a La Nina pattern. But what a lot of people haven't talked about much is the ENSO neutral pattern, which is a pretty good chance of happening. I'd say around 50%, and the 50% La Nina. And as you can see, it's kind of like a weak El Nino pattern, except without as much tropical moisture, but there still will be ample moisture. So if this happens, I'm going to have So if the La Nina fails to develop further for long, I'm going to lean towards an ENSO neutral pattern, which brings snow and cold winters to the Northeast and Midwest and Great Lakes, which is what a lot of people want. And you know, that's what I'm leaning towards right now. I'm leaning towards a snowy and cold winter for the central, eastern part of the United States. But that's right now. It could always change. But I'm going to talk about, I remember earlier in my video, I said that last month there was a completely different Puma model ENSO predictions. But then you can see, look how cold the waters were in last run. This is about a moderate to maybe even strong La Nina. And you can see the waters off here are not as strong, but they're still warm, but they're not nearly as strong as the other one. And you can see there's warm waters northwest of Hawaii. However, it's close to the cold. It still is warm northwest of Hawaii. But that's why, see, this model just blowtorched the USA. And look, instantly it kept northern Siberia and Alaska cold. I want you to look at that. And now, look, it's completely different. Look how weak the La Nina is here. That would definitely support a very cold winter for the eastern United States and a ridge in the west. Since it's the newest one, you have to give a little bit more emphasis on that, but you know that it could switch back to a model run just like the June one. So this forecast is to be taken with a grain of salt. However, it is based on the July run of the Jamstead. And as you can see, it's eerily similar to the 2014-2015 forecast in July, which was slightly more severe, but this has a negative tilt, which could be some implications. Here's the anomalies for this winter, that with the cooler waters northwest of Hawaii, the blob, and the weak La Nina / ENSO neutral. This has been made by SouthernIndianaWeather.com. All credits to them. I just copied it and put it here because I thought it was accurate. You guys should go check out his forecast. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, go check out his page. He made an anomaly from winters 58, 59, 83, 84, 85, 86, 2013, 2014, which you all remember was a freezing year, especially for areas up here, which I think will be one of the bullseyes for a very harsh winter this year. And 2014 to 2015, which just, especially for Boston for me, because I got so much snow that year, just around here they got over 100 inches. So it was very, so there are some snowy winters in this analog, especially 83 and 84 as well. They had a lot of precipitation and a lot of cold. So there's a lot of hope for snowlovers in the east and the Midwest this year. So I'm excited for them, and I'm excited for myself. So it's going to be awesome. Here's my preliminary winter conditions map. This is very vague. I don't want to have people relying on this as their final predictions, because this will probably change somewhat through the year. As you can see, you have warm. I didn't write it in there for it, but warmer and dry in this area. You could see up here. You could see a little bit of wetness because of the Pacific jet, which will be in the northwest. Over here, I don't think this deep south will have a great year. The Carolinas are still up in the air. They could get a cold year. They could get if the La Nina strengthens a little bit more, they could get a warm and dry year. If it's the La Nina does not strengthen much, this will be probably cold and snowy. I would probably fill in this area with cold and snow, maybe even this area, if it stayed ENSO neutral, because we have that blob. If it's an ENSO neutral, you have the blob. You will probably get a very, very cold winter for a lot of the United States, which I'm pretty worried about happening. And, you know, if it happens, this is around what I think would happen. So the worst of the winter will be in the Midwest, part of the Great Plains, and part of the interior Northeast and Great Lakes. Very cold with lots of snow and numerous storms, especially because in La Ninas, Colorado low tracks are very common, and they tend to go like this, and sometimes they can come up, and sometimes they go out, and they phase off the coast, and you get snowstorms for the Mid-Atlantic I-95 corridor, which is why I said cold and snowy for them. But you're going to have a lot of storms coming from either the Pacific Northwest or have a Colorado low, and some of them will clip up and some of them will go out and intensify. Some of them will go out to sea. But if you have the right conditions, they can do both of that. And these storms are capable of dropping a lot of snow. So that is my preliminary winter conditions map. Please do not take this to heart, because this could easily change by next month with the new Jamstech run. But, you know, this is what I'm looking at right now. This is what a lot of other people are looking at. And there are a lot of other, I saw a couple other forecasts that say completely different things, that say it's going to be average to slightly above average for a lot of the United States. But this is what I was thinking, what I saw in the anomalies, and this is probably what I think right now is going to happen. But anyway, thank you for watching. I would appreciate it if you just ask what you think is going to happen for this winter. Put it down below. Put your opinions down below. Tell me what you think, and I will create an updated forecast with newer model runs and new insight sometime in August or September. Probably late August, early September. Alright, well, thank you for watching, and bye.